Ooh, that is bright. Got some Civic action. Always a good sight to see when I walk out of my place. We're gonna talk about that car soon, don't you guys worry. Got plenty of stuff coming up for that. But this beauty is what we're talking about today. What's going on, guys? So, for any of you who live above the median line of the country, who get to experience all this beautiful white snow and all this horrible stuff that makes winter driving just awful, you are in luck, because today we're making a video for why you should buy a $1,000 winter beater like I did. As you can see by my Detroit Lions sweatshirt, I am in Michigan, part of the Midwest. We have historically bad winters, and as you can see, there's snow everywhere. So, you can't drive nice cars here. It's just kind of a thing that everyone knows. You can get an SUV and it'll be fine, but you're driving a car with horrible gas mileage for 9 months of the year that you don't really need. So, like, you want four-wheel drive, but around here, the term winter beater is a thing, and that is exactly what I've bought right here. So let's go ahead and check it out. This is the acclaimed XJ generation Cherokee, and I have seen at least 500,000 of these since I was a kid. And it's just a shape that I have been very accustomed to, and I've seen all over the Northeast where I lived before Michigan, and now all over Michigan and other states. So it's just a classic look. Everyone likes them. They're super reliable. So we all kind of know the gist. Doug DeMuro made a video. It's got millions of views. I'm sure you guys know all about these things. They're basically Lego bricks that are super sturdy, will go for hundreds of thousands of miles. The four-wheel drive system is infamous. Obviously, they're widely known in the off-road world. They're just very reliable, very basic, very utilitarian. They get the job done, and a lot of people like them. So, I'll show you around the car, but the point I want to emphasize is that this is around what the average $3,000 SUV goes for around here, even with some rust. If they're in good shape, even with up to 200,000 miles, if it's reliable and been maintained and has new parts and tires, they will go for good money around here. Any old four-wheel drive SUV, any truck, it's just, in Michigan, they're worth a lot of money, even with some body damage and stuff. So anyways, with that, let's go ahead and check out the car. So this is a 98 Cherokee. It's a 4-liter inline 6, 4x4 of course, and she is rusty. She is, as far as I know from looking online and talking to Jeep people, 98 is one of the best years. Apparently it had the least issues. It's got the most robust of all the transmissions and axles and stuff that are offered in here, so I'm really happy about that. We got scratches around here. We've got a ripped steering wheel, which I will be replacing. A massive 100-mile-an-hour max speed speedometer. I don't even want to imagine what 100 is like in this thing. I'm not going to take it above probably 85 at the absolute max. It's just not made for that kind of thing. So yeah, basic as hell. We got power windows at least. There's some newer speakers in here. I did put a Bluetooth head unit in already. But yeah, basic, rusty, you know, transportation. Not a lot of back seat room, more rust. Actually, that's just, yeah, you can see definitely through the ground there. But headliner's good. Speakers are in a cool spot. They actually sound really good. They project right at the driver's seat. It's actually in good shape. It's just kind of dirty. This was actually owned by a guy who had it for like 12 years, and it was an older guy, so he did take care of it, and he put new parts on it, but he didn't really care about the look or the rust. And I get it, it's just a utilitarian vehicle. So this gas cap has to go. I mean, it's the worst rust, like visibly the most you can see, and I can change it out for like 10 bucks at a junkyard. So looking out for a black one of those. More rust. Before we keep talking about rust and bad stuff though, the tires, those are Cooper Discovery, I believe. Cooper Discoverer AT3s. I'm sure it's a pretty decent tire, and there's 4 brand new ones. They have like 2,000 miles on them now, but still, I paid $1,400, totally transparent with you guys, for this car. $1,400. Those tires are going to be at least $500 with install, so now I'm down to $900, and I mean, it's maintained to a T. It has a brand new exhaust on it, brand new muffler, just all redone. Again, the tires, same exact rust, same spots on both sides, which I think is hilarious. The other things that I will show you under the hood, so let's go ahead and check that out. This hood weighs so much, kind of hard to do one-handed. So here she is, the famous AMC 4-liter inline 6. It's actually a really clean engine bay overall. Keep in mind, this is a 1998 with 190,000 miles, so not a lot of like mud and dirt, because this one actually hasn't been lifted and taken off road, which is another point I want to make. Like, super rare that this hasn't been, you know, abused by an 18-year-old or something. So it's also got a brand new battery, interstate. Those are at least a couple $100. So now I'm down to $700 investment. I know he did some engine maintenance recently. It sounds great. It's totally quiet. So yeah, the exhaust, the battery, and the tires, we're getting close to the $1,400 I paid. And then, of course, there's the whole Jeep that came with it. So I don't think you can financially justify how this is not a good idea if you live in an area like I do. The insurance here is expensive, but regardless, these are cheap. So even if your state isn't expensive, these are still going to be the cheapest of the rates for any car anywhere. So again, I mean, it's just financially great idea to buy a winter beater. There's something so special about these old, basic, plastic, square SUVs. It's just that they're light, they have great visibility. I mean, you can see everything in here. There's nothing extra. Like, everything is just what you need. You know, cruise, headlights, AC, heat, and the transfer case, manual transfer case, that's a big deal. You know, it's just, everything works. It's all mechanical. Everything just works in these, and you can fix it yourself with a screwdriver and a basic set of tools, and that's really what is so special about these old things. I mean, the gauges, you look at them all the time, and they're just so easy to read. There's extra information about oil pressure, which is cool, and it's just the 6 gauges. They're perfectly symmetrical, easy to read. It's just good. There's nothing to complain about with that. It's just, it works. And that's how I'm going to end the video. Getting a winter beater, if you live in the area that I do or a similar area, is just a good idea. I mean, cheap insurance, cheap maintenance, good in the winter, great in the winter. And then the cool thing, if you get something like a Jeep, is that you can go off-road with your friends. And my friends have these, like a few people do around here, and they already go off-road, and they lifted them a little bit and stuff. So there's so much fun to be had with these, and so it's just important to understand that to keep your other cars in good shape and not put them through the winter, it really is a good idea to have a winter beater, and there's no downsides. So go buy one, go enjoy it, go have fun. Don't worry about cleaning the underbody and getting all the salt off. Don't worry about the occasional small door ding at the grocery store. Just get in your cheap truck or SUV and just get to work, you know, have some cheap transportation, and then just also have fun. These things are awesome, and there's a real soul to these old cars, especially these old Jeeps. Everyone knows it. I'm not the first person to touch on it, but they just have a thing to them that's really cool, and I've started to love after a couple weeks of owning this. So buy a winter beater, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And as I said earlier, the next video that will be coming out very soon, just a couple days, is going to be about the Civic, because that is a car that I love so much, and I'm really excited to do some work on it with this better sunny weather that we've been having. So stay tuned for that. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.